It's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It was funny seeing my song in the. It was fun. It was funny seeing it at the presidential debate because it's like I wrote that song about those people. You know, like that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden. You know, it's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. That song's written about the people on that stage and a lot more too. Not just them, but definitely them.
So evidently, this is the summer of country songs rebelling against, I don't know, cities, metropolises. First, it was try that in a small town, which all the yahoos got up in arms about, and they liked that for a minute. Now this dude Oliver, I want to say
Yeah, his name is Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony did a song called Men North of Richmond, talking about basically Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? So politicians and, how they out to lunch, how they corrupt, how they stealing and all of that kind of shit. And somehow people center right in this country who don't have a lot of art, I guess, to grasp onto, heard that and interpreted it as he was going after Democrats. Oliver Anthony has, come out in the last couple of days and said, "No, are you motherfuckers playing this at your campaign stops? You niggas with the red ties on? That song's about y'all too." And that seems to have come as a shock to certain people. But yeah, you want to play the song and go into that,
It's a damn shame what the world's done to people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul.
So my take, very very similar to what you got, Miles. It's come out that again, like you said, a bunch of conservatives jumped on and felt like it was geared towards Democrats, and the reason I'd say that that's the case is because a lot of what he's saying, when you look at how things are set up today, and you look at the way politics are going, it's very much in that flow. There's a lot of stuff going on that we see, that policies and direction that the country's going that sound like the lyrics that are coming from the song. But for those of us who take a closer look at things and don't just take them on the surface, like we realize that this is everywhere. This is it's a swamp, right? The swamp isn't one-sided. The swamp is full from all sides, from every party, is full of people who are corrupt, who are power hungry, who are doing whatever they have to get reelected, and whichever side they got to jump on so that they can come back and still be in this position of power. Because once you get that taste, you don't give it up. So the things that he's talking about, initially people felt, real strong about it being, a conservative song. But yeah, the more you uncover it and you look into, what's really going on, you realize that this is something that's going on both sides of the aisle.
I mean, but I think they just thought that because he was, a hayseed hick singing a country song, they just assumed he was on their team. But I didn't hear him say nothing that, said, "Hey, I'm wearing a red tie." Like, I don't know.
I mean, he's not saying anything specific about it, but when you look at what current conservative, like the conservative call right now, and what's happening with inflation, what's happening with spending, what's happening with, the direction that we're going, a lot of those things sound like he's barking at, the policies that are being put in place. So it's not, I don't think it's like out of this, the realm of reality to think that when that song first came out, that was the intent, because it sounds a lot like that. But again, that's because you when you're a part of a group, it's tough for you to look at the what's wrong with your group. Like, what do we need to do to make this better? So if you're not doing that, then yeah, you're going to think, oh, that's not us. That's just them.
Well, I think, and just to play devil's advocate here, I think Republicans probably latched onto it because every day you hear Democratic anthems. All the single ladies, my coochie wet. All of this
Well,
crazy.
are you talking
Yeah,
about WAP?
huh?
You talking about WAP?
I'm talking about WAP. I'm talking about eating ass. I'm talking about all of these songs with all these independent women,
I didn't know that
right?
was a Democratic anthem. Did Hillary? Did
Oh yeah,
who
yeah,
played
yeah,
that? Did Kamala
yeah,
blast that
yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
campaign?
Oh yeah, yeah. They love these songs. They
Oh,
they
okay.
go they go and they talk to these rap artists and all of the, they do all the pandering, and it's all about women's rights, right? It's all about women's rights to act a goddamn fool and to tell niggas you ain't shit and to be an independent woman and break up families and all of that shit. So yeah, no, that's a very democratic thing. If you want to talk about who independent women vote for overwhelmingly, is Democrats, and
He made a
we hear
couple of
their
leaps there,
music.
but I'll try to follow that.
You hear their music every single day. So when you hear something that's not their music, the shit that come 2024, they're gonna be going on rap stations and telling you, oh yeah, no, this music is great. You niggas in Chicago want to shoot up each other. Hey, I hope you got some hot sauce in your bag because you're gonna need that after you get hungry from killing these niggas. Yeah, no, that's
That's a
all of them.
fact.
They love it. They love it. So when you hear anything that sounds like it's against that, then I can see how you could assume like, oh, okay, well, shit, that might be our music then. If he ain't talking about, no trannies, out here setting men up and
Eating
playing
ass.
women sports, and ass is shaking, and women having a lot of promiscuous sex and being
Yeah,
husbandless and staying out here in the workforce and having abortions so they could be out here in the workforce even longer. Hey, that might be some of our music. So I could see how maybe they thought he was, but at the end of the day, I think we all know that both sides have issues, big major issues. I don't like politicians in general.
I don't even see two sides.
Right,
I just
right.
see a
I don't.
hustle.
It's a
Right,
uniparty.
right. Yeah, it's probably a uniparty, but
All these
like I
motherfuckers
said,
go to lunch together after they argue for public consumption. I just like how after people assume that this song was going at, I guess, the Democratic Party to combat wet ass pussy. I don't know, but like homeboy immediately came out and said, "Hey, stop! I don't fuck with y'all like that." Like every time conservatives, it's like Eminem the other day. Who's this Vivek Ramashakala, whoever the
Ram,
fuck this
Ramaswamy.
brown Republican dude running for president? He was coming out singing "You Lose Yourself" on the campaign trail, and M had to send that nigga cease and hey, my nigga, I don't associate my shit with you. Like people, I think maybe they just want somebody to fuck with them so tough. Like I mean, just in the entertainment sphere, period. Like
I
nobody
don't
wants to
think he
stand next
gives.
to these niggas, and I think it gets tiring for them.
absolutely they do. Go ahead, Kay. I'll
Yeah,
let you
I don't
jump in
think
there.
he gives much of a shit about Eminem as much as he's trying to relate to people who are impressionable. And as we know, in this
Of course,
society,
he
there's
don't
a
give a
bunch of
shit about
impressionable
Eminem.
people who just take any little thing and be like, "Oh shit, he can rap Eminem." So you got a bunch of 18 to 24-year-olds who happen to be able
Mm.
to vote, who are impressed by him rapping Eminem and might go vote for his ass just for that.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these, like Vivek Ramaswamy. I listen to him, and one of the things he's focused on is the young people. And so, when he's a young dude himself, he's 34. So,
I
he grew
think
up
he's
on
adorable.
Eminem. He grew up on Eminem, and he's trying to energize younger people to become more conservative. And so he understands kind of the same way that who was talking that shit? Oh, your boy Andrew Tate. basically he was saying, you know, the only way for my movement to get as big is I got to go to the young people and I got to make sure that they can be relate to the shit I'm doing. He said, hey, if I was a Republican, that's what I would be doing. I would be doing shit to make these young kids feel like I'm relatable. But Republicans are so into their old snooty ways that they don't do shit that makes them relatable. So they miss the young vote. And so I think that's what
Yeah,
Vivek was
but
trying to
I
do.
wasn't. I was never arguing against that. It's just funny to me how every time they try, motherfuckers shut him down. Like, of course he don't give a shit about Eminem. He's trying to get some eyes on him, and he used a hit song to try to do it. But I don't know what's his name. Vivek
Vivek.
Vivek
Vivek.
Ramaswamy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cute too
Well,
because
of
he
course.
actually thinks the motherfuckers might elect him.
Yeah, no, no. Listen,
Like he
the
thinks that the
entertainment.
Republican Party might look at his blacker than me ass with a name they can't pronounce and say, "Yep, Vivek. What's the name for like if you don't get the fuck out of here?"
Yeah, no. Listen, the entertainment industry is never gonna fuck with conservatives because you know at the end of the day, you know they like to be weird and shit. Those motherfuckers,
Well,
you
no,
know,
conservatives are unpopular.
they
The
well,
entertainers don't fuck with them for the same reason the majority of people don't fuck with them
well,
because they're just not popular.
the entertainment
Yeah.
industry don't fuck with them because you know because of the whole Bible belt that the Republican Party has. And you know, when you start waving Bibles and shit and morals and shit at the motherfuckers in the entertainment industry, they don't like that shit
It's
because
just it's not the Bible. It's just
they
that
like
it's
to
square and
they like
corny.
to they like to
Even when the
short.
motherfuckers start trying to rap Eminem, it comes off it's cringy. It's like no, I don't even know if M gives a fuck about this dude's policy. It's just like
But
you
but
corny niggas, stop trying to do my shit.
hold on, man.
It looks
It's
horrible.
hold on. When you have motherfuckers kneeling that can't even kneel because they 99 years old and on the Democratic side, or when you got motherfuckers trying to sing and throw baseball pitches on the Democratic side, the whole entertainment industry fucks with it. So we can't be like, oh well, these niggas is corny, but the niggas who they vote for all the time ain't corny. Them motherfuckers is corny as fuck. The
Mhm.
problem is like I said, the entertainment industry, as we all know, it's a bunch of weird motherfuckers. They like doing coke. They like having, you know, crazy weird orgies with gay trannies and all types of shit. So, you
Not
know,
to be
they not.
confused with the straight trannies.
No, don't you confuse the
Oh,
straight trannies. All right, the
got
straight
it. All
trannies are
right,
good in my book. All right,
got you.
all right.
Okay,
They don't try to fool people. All right,
yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, you know, Hollywood is a bunch of weird ass niggas that they got a bunch of money. They got a bunch of money for making movies. But if me and you seen these niggas in high school, we probably would have beat them up and took their lunch. So you know, they're a bunch
You
of
can say
weirdos.
Hollywood, but Eminem's from Detroit and Oliver Anthony is from buttfuck Virginia somewhere on a
Right, but
farm with 3 pigs, and he
right,
don't even want to fuck with them niggas.
right.
So
But
you can make it sound like it's
I don't.
Hollywood elites at eyes wide shut parties, but none of them want to fuck with that party.
But I don't think Oliver, what's this nigga name? Oliver Anthony. I don't think he wouldn't fuck with with Republicans. I just think he's saying, hey, y'all have you know just as much blood in the game as they do. So don't act like you guys are
Yeah,
you know
stop using
somehow
my shit. I
alleviated.
don't want to associate it with you.
Well, I don't know. I don't
Stop.
know if he said that.
Oh, I do.
I
I got
just
it
know
right
that
here.
he
Hold up.
said. I just know that he said, "Hey, you guys are participating in this shit too." I don't know if he
Yeah.
said, "I don't want to be
He was,
associated with it."
but who he was telling to stop using it was Fox. I mean, Fox used it at the Republican debate. It wasn't. It's not like you got candidates out there, you know, coming out to a song.
I
It
don't
was
care who pressed play. He don't want his shit playing when those motherfuckers is on the screen. No
right,
matter whose
but
idea it was, no
but
matter who plugged in the aux.
there's not candidates out there using a song to get themselves promoted.
He I don't even know that got all respect to Mr. Oliver, but I don't know if he even thought that far. He heard his shit, he saw those hard-ons and said, stop.
Yeah, because he
Wrong
heard it at the
message.
debate.
Abort.
And
That's what prompted it.
Yeah.
and,
Fox
He
played it
don't
at
want
the
to.
debate.
and here's the
Yeah.
thing. And here's the thing about him. You know, M is tied to black culture, so he can't. He even if he wanted to do some shit with Republicans, he couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Okay, but like what is that? That don't have Has he ever given any indication that he'd like to, but he's holding back? Like, where's that coming from?
No, it's not saying that he'd like to.
No,
It's
I'm
just
not.
he
I'm
couldn't
not
if he
saying
wanted to.
that.
Well,
Most
you said
people in
even if he
entertainment
wanted to,
are
Right.
like why? But
similar to politicians. They
Yeah.
know where their bread is buttered, so they're going to
Yeah.
stay in that cubby so that they
Yeah.
can continue to get that bread.
That
I
nigga's
guess that's
beholden to a group.
possible. Or is it possible that he's just who he always has been?
No,
Never
he's
fucked with them,
actually
still
not
don't.
who he's always been.
Oh,
He
okay.
used to be a rebel ass nigga that was a rebel versus everybody. But now when black people say, nah, you ain't can't be a rebel now, M is like, okay, I'm not really a rebel no more.
When did he try to rebel and black people told him not? I missed that.
When Trump was elected.
And he tried to rebel by doing what?
Well, he didn't rebel at all. But
That was
if
my
he was
question. When did he
if he was
try
a
to
rebel,
rebel and
if he
black
was
people
a
told him no? That was the question.
if he was a rebel, he would have been on Trump's side. He would have
Oh,
rebelled
so you
against
saying just
the
a
status
rebel for
quo.
rebellion's sake?
That's what he was.
No, he wasn't. He always had a message. Listen to Renegade again. He was never rebelling against shit just for the sake of rebelling it. He always had something to say.
The nigga's
And
whole
it doesn't
style
seem that
was
it's changed that much from
the
99 or
nigga's whole
whenever.
style was rebellion. His whole style was I'm the rebellious person.
Well, a certain
Whatever is
amount of
status
that, you
quo
can see
right
that in
now,
us too. At
whatever
this
status
age,
quo right now, I'm finna rebel against whatever the status quo is. That's who M was. That's how he got big. That's what we loved about him. This nigga talks shit about whatever status quo was. Now, he ain't talking shit about status quo.
okay, so let me make sure I got it right. So when he was rebelling against whatever the status quo was
Right.
back at the time, which, I'll just go to Renegade. The Mormons, the Catholics, the religious, the fucking squares, as I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to ban his music,
Right.
all that kind of shit. So now we're saying when Donald Trump got in office, he lost that? Or is it possibly that he grew up and became less of a rebel, like, by the way, all of us have, because I knew all y'all niggas back then. So
Hella
are we saying that he
coincidence,
just,
bro.
say it again?
I'm saying that's a hella coincidence. Hey, all of a sudden now, you grow up now, huh? All right. Hey, if that's
Yeah,
what
no, he
happened,
should still
if the
be
nigga grew
19.
up and that's
While
what
while you two
happened,
niggas wave red flag,
all right.
wear red ties, he should still be Marshall Mathers, peroxide blonde, and talking about what Britney Spears.
No,
Like, what are you saying? It's a
absolutely
coincidence
not.
he grew up. Everybody grew up.
Absolutely not. I
All
think
right,
that
then. What the fuck are we talking about?
I think that if you're the dude who made his whole bid off of rebelling against status quo, then let's see it. Let's see it when it's actually time to rebel against status quo. Let's see it.
You don't have to
You just want him to agree with
to
you.
be immature to
I don't want him to
rebel. That
agree with
doesn't
me.
mean
No, you do.
you're rebelling off of immaturity. You can be mature and still be a rebel.
When
Yeah.
Trump was in office, he did that long ass acapella shit going against Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump was a sitting president. Now, what you're saying is that he should have got aboard that train because somehow that would be going against the status quo
You don't
by
think?
getting
No,
on board
to
with the
say
chief
that,
executive of the United States.
So you
to
think
say
Donald
that,
Do
Trump
I
was the
got that
status
right?
quo? You
Wait,
think
wait,
Donald
wait.
Trump was? Go ahead, Kay.
Wait,
Go ahead.
hold on. You're making the point that supporting Donald Trump was not going against like the status quo.
No, that's not what I said. I said something very specific. I said that while Donald Trump was the sitting president of the United States, Eminem made an acapella 10-minute song going against the president of the United States. Now, there are people who would say, by definition, that's a challenge to power. That's a challenge to authority. Now, you want to say that Trump is such an outsider that even while he's sitting in the Oval Office, he somehow, I don't know what, the counterculture. Like, make that point to me. Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying is it's clear 100% that people who support Trump were considered outcasts by society, especially in the entertainment industry, especially in the black community.
Yeah, no question.
So him doing that is not going against the status quo. Him doing that is the status quo.
Oh, okay. So when so when Eminem came out and the Republicans were in office and he was talking shit about Bob Dole and them, that was going against the status quo. 25 years later, when Donald Trump is the president and he's going against the
I don't think
Republicans
going against Bob Dole is anywhere similar to going against Donald Trump. Bob Dole.
What I'm saying is that his politics probably have not moved. He's probably been against these motherfuckers the whole time. He's probably never fucked with a one of them, except now Donald Trump is way more popular or way more popping than Bob Dole was. So that gets more attention, but he's never said nothing nice about none of them motherfuckers.
I don't know that he necessarily, you know, needed to come out against or against Trump. Like, I think the point is just he was always like a rebel, and at that point, and maybe just by chance, like you're saying, Kay, it might really just be by chance that his approach and his kind of thought was always that, and it just happened that when Trump came in, it just fell in line with what he already thought before.
Hold on, man.
What you're saying is
so this nigga
that he was a rebel for rebel's sake.
This nigga only,
but he never was. He always had something to say.
Okay, so this nigga barely came in under his whole rise to fame just started in what, 2004, 2003? Like,
who was that?
Eminem.
1999.
Okay, so 99. So we had the first Bush when he came in and got his voice. And then right after first Bush, who was it? Obama. He can't say shit about Obama. Niggas would have tore that nigga up.
So we know for sure he didn't like Obama and was just holding back, right?
No.
That's what this supposes. That's what this presupposes.
What I'm saying is there was a plenty of shit that nigga could have talked about people trying to ban him, people trying to silence him during that time, but he never put none of that shit and talked about Obama and his administration.
Because he probably liked Obama. The fuck you talking about? Like I said, you want him to agree with you.
No, I'm just saying, even if he had shit to talk about Obama, the nigga would have never said it. I mean, can we agree on that or no?
No.
So you think he would have talked about Obama if there was some
I'm not saying I think he would have talked about it. I can sit here and say, I don't know, because I'm not reading Eminem's fucking mind. I'm not as good at that as you. I'll take your word for it.
I'm not reading his mind. I'm just listening to the words that he was saying. I'm listening to the words that he talked about. I'm listening to the school shootings and all of that shit that he talked about. But then somehow under Obama, niggas was getting shot. He wasn't really talking about that shit. All right.
He has his opinions.
Okay.
And so he'll criticize the people that he wants to criticize.
I get it.
And he won't criticize the people he's not critical of. And somehow you've reverted that into he's holding back because niggas made him.
Listen.
Fair enough.
All I'm saying is the nigga came up making his bones about rebelling against the motherfucking system, being this dude who was an outlier. And then all of a sudden, when Obama gets in, not so much of an outlier anymore. And then when Trump comes, who wasn't the popular president, he didn't win the popular vote. Most of the country wasn't for Trump. All right.
Including him.
And on top
that was my point. These motherfuckers is unpopular. That's what I said from the gate.
Right. But I think what I'm saying is if we want to talk about rebelling, being a rebel, then you go against the majority. Being with the majority isn't rebelling. And the majority of this country
goes back to you saying he just wants to be a rebel. He never said, I just want to be a rebel. I
never said he wants to be a rebel. I'm saying his whole style of what he came up on was being a rebel.
Against the shit that he wanted to rebel against. Not just everything in general all the fucking time. If I'm rebelling against this kind of shit, when this kind of shit subsides, I'm not rebelling against it no more because it's not happening. Then it started again.
The problem is the shit was still happening, but there was a blackface in the White House. But all of a sudden, we're not talking about it.
What was still happening?
Columbine, kids getting shot.
Columbine happened under Obama?
Nah, Columbine happened under
Sandy
Bush.
Hook happened under
Right.
Obama, and
We
he
didn't
tried
we
to.
didn't hear
And
we didn't hear Sandy Hook though.
well, right, because Obama wasn't talking about 2A and shit and acting like everything was cool. He was actually trying to push gun legislation. So if you were worried about gun violence, you wouldn't be as critical because you got somebody in there who you perceive, whether right or wrong, that's trying to do something about it.
Right. Okay. All right, man. We'll just have to agree to disagree on that one because
Fair enough.
like I said, I started loving him because the nigga was on people. He was on all the popular people. He was on their heads. Obama was the most popular nigga in the motherfucking country. Didn't get on that nigga's head about nothing. So I'm just trying to figure out
So that
like
means Obama's popularity didn't include him.
I, like I
He
said,
wasn't fond of Obama, but he just held it back because
like I
you might get
said,
mad.
no, like I said, listen, his whole
I
lifestyle
get it. Whole style
is
was
is
rebelling.
his whole lifestyle was contingent on the black community. So it behooves him to make sure he stays in the good graces of the black community, and whatever the black community is upset about, he should be upset about.
Oh, well, then that gives you a slam dunk because anytime he don't say some shit critical of black people, you can always just say, "Oh, he's scared of his base." It couldn't be that he really feels like that. We can just always assume that nope, he's scared of what the
I don't
blacks will say.
I don't think that it has to be one or the other. It could be both.
Well,
Like
even if it's any part of this one,
those two things
then he's
could be
being true as an
simultaneous.
artist.
Those things could be true. He could say, "Oh, well, I don't have a beef, and also I'm scared of my base."
But the I don't have a
Those
beef
things are
part,
not mutually exclusive.
but the I don't have a beef side of that means he's being true as an artist. It means he's not saying some shit he doesn't believe, which is
I
what
don't.
he's always been. Is true as an artist.
Right. You can not say some shit that you don't believe, but then you could also temper back the shit that you believe because of your base.
Nah, not what you believe, what you publicly say, front facing.
What? Man, be quiet. Get the fuck out of here. Niggas every day, those nigga, you won't say shit on this podcast. Shit you believe on this podcast.
Yeah, I gotta get a paycheck from somebody. I'm not
Yes.
an artist.
He's
I don't
the
have
same.
no artistic integrity I'm trying to uphold here.
Hey, man, these niggas don't have no artistic integrity. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Nigga he try to use artistic integrity on me. Nah,
You
man,
just
I
got
don't
finished
believe-
saying, go back through the logic of what you just said.
I don't
Or are
believe
you
it.
ready to just over talk it now?
No, go ahead.
Go back through the logic of what you just said. Two things can be true.
Correct.
A, I really feel like this. B, even if I didn't feel like this, I would have to say it because I'll lose money.
No, I didn't say that.
No?
No, that's
Oh, I
not what
thought
I
you.
said.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood
No,
you.
I said he doesn't have to say things that he believes, but he can also not say things because his base doesn't agree with it.
And what I said was by making that argument, you'll always get the dunk because even if he believes that shit, you can always just go back and say, oh, he's scared of his base. You have no idea whether he really feels like that or not. But you always had that high card to play. Like, oh, he's just scared.
Hold on, man. Hold on. The nigga used to say nigga in his raps. Then he got popular and stopped saying nigga altogether because he knew niggas wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So right then and there, it shows me that nigga is fearful of his base.
Okay. But him saying nigga was before, that predates everything that you talked about with him being anti-establishment and going against the status quo. So the Eminem that you're talking about, that you're longing for, the rebel, yeah, he punked out to that shit way before you knew about him. So how do you shaking your head? What are you shaking your head at? That's a fact.
I don't believe he punked out on any of the shit way before. It made him money. It made him money to be a rebel.
But he wasn't a rebel because he stopped saying nigga because he thought you get mad. How is that a rebel? That's status quo. Make sense.
No, because there's other shit that you can rebel on. It doesn't have to be all
Oh,
one.
so now you just want him to rebel.
His whole
You got it,
style was
bro.
being a rebel. His
You
whole
got it, bro.
style was being a rebel. That's what he brought himself up as. That was his whole
Mhm.
image. His whole image was being a rebel. Now, just because I know that Jay-Z wasn't really the Jay-Z that he talks about, it doesn't mean that that's not his persona. It doesn't mean that he used his persona of someone else, Jazzo and other niggas, to make money off of it. Same thing. Just because I know that nigga's not that didn't mean that he didn't come up and make money off of that.
You got it.
That's
What
all
you
I'm
think,
saying.
Kay?
Shit jumped sharp.